to count out your toy. You'll be so much easier to roll when you're dead. I'll try and make this quick.
That's the best you can do?
See a dog out there? I don't know, really. The blacksmith is offering a reward for a dog he saw on the road. I was hoping you'd seen it. I guess I'll stay on the lookout. Keep your nose clean while you're here, outsider.
Repairing the defenses is almost impossible lately. Every time we get a new war report, our needs change.
The trade routes are affected as well. Procuring supplies is a guessing game. Weapons sell well, though.
Careful with that, Ninja. Our merchants could be selling weapons to an invading force.
Yes? What is it that you want? Ah, it's you. Yes, well, now we'll see if the stories about you are true. There's a group of bandits in my hold that I may have had a few discreet dealings with. The cut they were giving me was good at first, but now it's time to clean things up. Go and take care of it. Good. My uncle Dengir was Jarl until a short time ago. His old age and failing health caught up with him, and he stepped down. He now serves us honorably as Thane, and to the great benefit of the hold, I now serve as Jarl. Difficult? I'm a Jarl. I eat the most succulent meat, drink the finest ale, and hunt with the best hounds in the hold. Meanwhile, my very capable steward sees to the needs of the small folk, and ensures that my hold runs smoothly. Being a Jarl could hardly be simpler. You should try it sometime.
I'm the steward here. I serve under Jarl Siggeir and Jarl Dengir before him. Many battles have been fought here over the centuries. Graves were dug and monuments built, and the town grew around these. In time, Falkreath came to be known as the Heroes' Graveyard. Many noble Jarls and renowned warriors asked to be buried here. Falkreath's reputation has faded somewhat, but the graves remain, reminding us of the one inevitable truth of life. It was Dengir who made me a steward, long ago when he was young. When Dengir's health began to fail, young Siggeir was appointed Jarl in his stead. It was simpler just to keep me as steward. Siggeir has no interest in running his hold, and so leaves such matters to me. As for my part, I do my best to see that folk are treated fairly. The Jarl has put out a bounty on the dragon that's been terrorizing the countryside. Here, take a look at this decree for details. May wisdom forever light your path.
I protect the Jarl.
Why
Whoever
have
that might
taxes not come in from Granite Hill, Ninya? We should send some guards down there.
They are only a little late, Jarl. The trade routes are affected by the war. We should give them another day.
Very well. But when their emissary arrives, I want words from her.
Did you see a hound on the road? Fine, strong creature that's been wandering. There's one out on the road. I can't afford to chase him down, but I could use a fierce, loyal beast to keep me company. If you are willing to retrieve him for me, I'd give you some fresh meat to attract him out on the road. Good. There's some gold in it for you if you succeed. Here's the meat. Check the road just outside of town.
Oh, did you need something?
You are exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, I think you'll be just what I need. You see, my name is Barbas, and I have a problem I think you can help sort out. My master and I had a bit of a falling out. We got into an argument and it got rather heated. He's kicked me out until I find someone who can settle our disagreement. That's where you come in. Thank you. Now, since he banished me, Vile's been rather weak. He can't manifest very far from one of his shrines. I know there's a cult that worships him at Hamar's Shame. We should be able to talk to him there. If this works out, I'll make sure you're rewarded. Hey, just don't trust any offer he makes you, okay?
Johnny Charles?
Well, I guess you could say I got on his nerves. I tend to be the voice of... He couldn't just kill me, you see. We're technically... Of course, because of our separation, Vile is now much weaker. I guess he figured it was a small price to pay for not having to listen to me anymore.
I've been hunting and fishing in these parts for years.
By all means, let's hear it. It's the least I could do since you already helped me grant one final wish for my last worshippers. They were suffering so from vampirism and begged me for a cure. Then you came and ended their misery. I couldn't have planned it better myself. So, what's your heart's desire? What kind of deal can we strike? Really? Power? You're a dragonborn. You already have more power than most people who aren't immense fire-breathing monsters. As much as I hate to say it, you're almost as powerful as I am right now. But that's just because half of my power resides in that mutt Barbas. Hey, come to think of it, I know of a win-win situation for both of us. There's an axe. An incredibly powerful axe. An axe powerful enough for me to have quite a bit of fun indeed. If you bring it to me, I'll grant you my boon. No strings attached, no messy surprises. At least not for you. As I recall, it's resting in Rhymerock Burrow. Barbas can lead you right to it. Little Mutt might even earn his place back at my side.
Well, I guess you could say I got on his nerves. I tend to be the voice of reason, and he finds that irksome. He couldn't just kill me, you see. Of course, because of our separation, Vile, one of Clavicus's little Jess, a wizard named Sebastian Lord, had a daughter who worshipped her scene. When the daughter became a werewolf, it drove Sebastian over the edge. He couldn't stand to see his little girl take on such a bestial form. The wizard wished for the ability to end his daughter's curse. Clavicus gave him an axe.
you coming back.
Watch what you're doing.
Pull up a seat. Have a drink. Couldn't have done it better myself. Here's your coin. Good. My clients are getting impatient. Yeah, sure. Got a business on tap that could use a little number rearranging. What do you say? Now that's what I like to hear. Off you go.
You've always been the most reliable one in the guild.
Well, what the hell is Mercer gonna do about this mess? Have you even talked to him?
Mercer is being Mercer. If he has a plan to get us out of this rut, then he isn't sharing it with me.
Welcome to the cozy little family. Why don't you take a look at some of my merchandise and we'll see what kind of deal we can make. Now, if you're looking for a... Why don't you take a look at some of my merchandise and we'll see what kind of deal we can make. All right. Then. Stick to the rules. Usual guild rate. Let's take a look at them.
All eyes are on you, lad. Don't disappoint us.
Something I can help with, or do you just...
I work for the Wind Peak Inn. You should head on inside.
Come on in. Let me know if you need anything. Take a seat by the fire and I'll send someone over. I'm sorry. My mind was just somewhere else. Here, take a look at this. Some of the Jarl's men came by and left us bounty litter.
Just one of the miners. I don't want any trouble.
The nightmares in Dawnstar have lifted, and I hear you helped that happen. You have my thanks. What's this? Oh, that's right, the timbers from Anger's mill. I swear, that area and her men would make fine Stormcloak recruits. Pity we can't spare the lumber to conscript them. Here, take this, for your time and all that. Giants are a common problem in the Pale. The Empire always demanded I leave them be, but the Empire isn't here now. Go and slay one of the beasts. To let them know that Dawnstar is not to be trifled with. I'm counting on you. The Stormcloaks are destined to win this fight. Dawnstar has a history of being the site of battles that have crippled the fate of the Empire. I hope this remains true. The only reason dragons are attacking is because Talos is angry with us. As soon as we drive the Empire out of Skyrim, the dragons will vanish. Mark my words.
I'm
Good luck
Skald's
with the
housecarl
giant.
and
Don't
head of
miss
his
them,
guard
Dawn.
at Dawnstar. My Jarl, I have concerns about the safety of...
Just a servant of Skald the Elder. Worthy of time and consideration.
If you know any true sons and daughters of Skyrim, tell them to head to Windhelm. Ulfric Stormcloak wants to see them.
There's no honor in being
We
a
won't be able to defend our own borders.
No Sovngarde waits for
Nonsense.
dusk.
The best place for our men is driving the Imperials back. I will ensure that men from Dawnstar get every opportunity for glory.
Glory is meaningless if they have no home to return to. I urge you to lower our commitments to the front until I'm sure we're safe.
I won't have you rob our soldiers of their chance to drive out the Empire. I'm done discussing this, Jarl.
Ancestors wouldn't want this, Silas.
Why should I hide from it? This is my family's legacy.
It's the past. Dead oaths on dead lips. Let it stay there.
The museum is opening, Medina.
I beg you, don't go into Silas's museum. Silas comes from one of the oldest families in Dawnstar. They have a complicated history. Several of his ancestors belonged to the Mythic Dawn, the cult that almost destroyed Tamriel. His family's involvement was only found out well after the crisis had died down, but it still ruined their reputation. They were outcasts. And now Silas is back, and this museum to the Mythic Dawn is his way of trying to rebuild his family's pride. It's misguided. Not a student of history, I see. It's for the best. They're a group that should be forgotten. The only thing you need to know is that they almost destroyed the world, and they were stopped a long time ago. That museum is a mistake.
And here comes my first visitor. The Museum of the Mythic Dawn is open, friend. Yes, my collection of artifacts from a group that toppled an empire. Why don't you come in? You can browse the displays and we can talk. I have a job you look perfect for. Let's talk inside. Feel free to look around. Come talk to me when you're ready to discuss that job I mentioned. The tapestries, those robes were worn during the Mythic Dawn's secret meetings, where they plotted to bring the Daedra Mehrunes Dagon into Tamriel. Each bolt of yarn used to make the robe was colored with a dye made from sacrificial blood. That burned paper is all that remains of the fabled Mysterium Xarxes, the blasphemous book written by Mehrunes Dagon himself. It's said that Mankar Cameron used the book to open a portal to a paradise where all his followers would live forever. The commentaries on the Mysterium Xarxes were written by the Mythic Dawn cult leader, Mankar Cameron. He promised a paradise awaited his followers when they died, that they would be reborn by Mehrunes Dagon's side. Ah, yes, that scabbard. Notice the insignia? An Oblivion Gate, a key symbol of Mehrunes Dagon, the patron Daedra of the Mythic Dawn. Did you have any questions about the museum? Or would you rather talk business? It's no secret that my family were once members of the Mythic Dawn. One of my forefathers was even chosen to assassinate Uriel Septim himself. We hid from our past for years, became tradesmen, people of coin and influence. But I realized that the Mythic Dawn's importance, our importance, to history cannot be denied. I'll see everyone in Tamriel remember that for a moment, we held the fate of the world in our hands, for good or ill. They were worshippers of Mehrunes Dagon, the Daedric Lord of Destruction and Change. The Mythic Dawn killed Uriel Septim VII and his heirs, triggering the events that led to the Oblivion Crisis when the Daedra invaded Tamriel. All that remains of the infamous cult, I've gathered in my museum. Ah, an excellent question. Mehrunes Dagon is the Daedric Lord of Change, Destruction, and Ambition. Dagon's Mythic Dawn cult killed the Septim Dynasty and opened the Oblivion Gates into Tamriel. They called it the Oblivion Crisis. A little history first. After the Oblivion Crisis, a number of groups cropped up dedicated to wiping out the remnants of the Mythic Dawn. One of these groups found Mehrunes' Razor, the artifact of Dagon. They split it into 3 fragments and pledged to keep them apart forever. That was almost 150 years ago, and the pieces are still being kept by the descendants of that group, and they're right here, in Skyrim. At least 2 of the owners, Gunzel and Draskua, are dangerous marauders, and the 3rd owner, Jorgen, I only know he lives in Morthal. Here are my notes about them. I'll gladly pay you for getting the pieces any way you can. No questions asked. The razor is Mehrunes Dagon's personal artifact. It has always heralded bloody change and carnage. It's held many names. Dagger of the Final Wounds, Bane of the Righteous, the Kingslayer. The Mythic Dawn worshipped Dagon as a god. Having his razor would be invaluable to my collection. Good luck finding the fragments.